Well, hello there. So, here's one thing that I just wanted to come to you with because all of the investors that I know of, all of us have one thing in common, and it's this. We all wish we had bought more real estate sooner. So I'm like, I need to reach out to my young professional friends to let them know what are 6 reasons why. And I just jotted these down and I'm coming to you live to be able to share those with you. Number one is your net worth. When you invest in real estate, it increases your net worth. So imagine buying a building that is $500,000. Instantly now you are worth $500,000, like overnight. That's just how net worth works. And if you're renting an apartment, guess what? You don't your net worth is how much money you have saved in the bank. So it instantly increases your net worth. Secondly, is this gap. So, what we know today is the average age of the first time home buyer is 40 years old. People are waiting until they are 40 to buy their first property. Well, if you go ahead and buy a piece of property now, and let's say 25, there is a 15 years, 25 minus 40 is 15. That's 15 years of you having the ability to for the property to make more, to be worth more every single year. And that leads into this word called appreciation. Properties are worth more. My lights just went off. Properties are worth more because of this beautiful word called appreciation. I bought my first property in 2002 for $89,000. It was the ugliest, stinkiest, dirtiest, nastiest property on the entire block, but it was in a really good neighborhood. And I didn't even realize what I was doing. It was an estate at the time. 2002, it was $89,000. Fast forward, that same property, if I were to put it on the market today, I could easily put it on the market for $250,000. So that's just year over year. And I've done some updates to it as well. But if you did nothing to it, year over year, this beautiful word called appreciation, properties are worth more the longer that you hold onto them year after year after year. It's called appreciation. It's a beautiful word. So net worth, the gap, the money that you're missing out on when you wait to invest in real estate. And then this beautiful word called appreciation. And then when you're renting, you're just throwing money away. Literally, you have nothing to show for it. You are paying someone else's mortgage down. You are building wealth for someone else. Why not go ahead and start building wealth for yourself? And then multi-unit versus single unit. So here's the thing. Here is what I'm recognizing. I'm about to list a 4-unit building. It's 4 one-bedroom apartments for about the same amount that you can buy a house for. So either you get to decide, buy something, right? You get to decide, do you want to just buy a single unit for almost the same price that you could get 4 units? So what could happen? If you bought a building, 4 units, what if you lived in one of those units and rented out the other 3? This is a strategy that you may have heard called house hacking. The goal of house hacking is that you live virtually rent free because you're living in unit number 1 and you're renting out unit 2, 3, and 4. The goal is for 2, 3, and 4, the rent for those totals to be more than your mortgage payment. For example, if the monthly mortgage payment is $4,000, and what if is that 12? Let's just do easy math, right? Let's say 3,500. Let's say the monthly mortgage payment is $3,500, and you're getting $1,500 from unit 2, 3, and 4, so that they are basically paying for you to live virtually rent free. How cool is that? Or you can decide to just buy a single unit property and live there, and appreciation will still happen, but that would be a cool strategy to live virtually rent free, and you could continue to stack the money. The goal then is not for you to go ball out, right? The goal is for you to stack the money and to buy more property. Like I said, the majority of the seasoned investors, we wish we had bought more property when we were younger. I went to Eastern Kentucky University, Richmond, Kentucky. Let me just go ahead and say in 1988. 1988. If you go to Eastern Kentucky now, all of that was not there when I was there. The bypass, all of the things, like none of that was there. What if I had the insight to buy property then? That's why I'm giving you this game now, because this is the 30 years ago. If I had known what I'm telling you today, I would have bought property back then and I would have owned more there. Nobody was giving this type of game to us back in the day. That's why I'm giving it to you, because I'm your Aunt Dana. Like, everybody has that favorite aunt, and I'm that for you, right? All right, so multifamily versus single, it doesn't matter. The game would be to go ahead and buy a multi-unit or even a duplex, let's say, and that's 2 units. You live in 1 unit and rent out the other unit. Here's the key thing though. Don't tell the people you own the building, because you don't want people knocking on your door at 2 o'clock in the morning talking about the toilet is overflowing. Like, don't tell them you own the building. Hire a property management company that completely does all of the maintenance and all of the things that you're worried about. They handle all of it and they just send you a check every month. Game changer. And then finally, offer letter. So I'm gonna lean in real close because this is super cool. You just graduated from college. You have this beautiful offer letter where you have a salary position. Did you know you can use that offer letter to qualify for a mortgage? Wow. So what if when you graduated from college that you bought a house or a duplex or a 4-unit building and you don't even have to rent? Nothing is saying that you have to rent an apartment when you graduate. Go ahead and buy property now so that you're not missing out on that gap of the building being worth more year after year after year because you own it. So if you're like, you kind of making sense, but I need more information, do me a favor and text roadmap to 941 326 3262, and let's establish a roadmap for you. What could this potentially look like if you were to decide to buy a piece of property now and allow this beautiful word of appreciation to work for you? Your net worth instantly increases. There's so many benefits to buying now and not waiting. And I just want to share these reasons with you. So I'm your Aunt Dana. Once again, that number is 941 326 3262. I'm your favorite aunt. You know, there's some things that your parents have been telling you, you haven't been listening to them now, but you would listen to your auntie. So I'm Aunt Dana, 941 326 3262. Let's get you some real estate now and stop waiting so that you can go ahead and start reaping the benefits of having a network. Because here's the other thing, and then I'm gonna let you go. When you own real estate, it gives you options that you didn't know you even needed. Because let me put it this way. Think about if you play the game of Monopoly. Drop a comment if you've ever played the game of Monopoly. You play the game of Monopoly, and what do? When you land on the properties, you buy them. What if you were to play the game of Monopoly and not buy anything? You didn't buy Baltic, you didn't buy Boardwalk, you didn't buy Park, you didn't buy anything. How quickly would you be out of the game? Really quick. That's what's happening today. If you don't buy property, you're going to be out of the game. You're going to be landing on somebody's property every single month, and you're going to have to pay them what they tell you they want, and instead of you buying and telling other people, you can be somebody else's landlord. Hire a property management company, but get the blueprint, get the roadmap. Text me, 941 326 3262. Let's go.